The Pixel 8a is here, announced early. You can pre-order it now, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it in this video to help you make a buying decision or to sit back and laugh because I think it's a dumb phone. But we're going to go forward with this, talk about the Pixel 8a. Is it worth it? Is there any value? Why is it available now? And some curious decisions. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz. Let's talk about the phone. Well, first things first, I don't have the phone. I will hold up my Pixel 8 and talk about it in this video because I want to make some comparisons. But the Pixel 8a, what do you need to know? $499, 6.1-inch screen, 1080p resolution, 2000 nits brightness, 120 hertz refresh rate, 4500 milliamp battery, 8 gigs of RAM, 7.5 watt wireless charging, the same slow wired charging, 8 gigabytes of RAM. If I haven't said that, 3.1 FS. UFS, it has a 128 gigabyte storage option, the first time ever 256 gigabyte option, and 7 years of support. I think I covered that in about 25 seconds. Anyway, so now that I've got the specs out of the way, let's talk about the phone. So not a whole lot of difference from this phone, but exactly what I said was going to happen happened. Well, for the last couple of weeks, actually for quite a while, you've been able to pick up the Pixel 8 for as low as $499. It was $549 like a week ago, back up to $699. So the deals are over because they want you to buy the Pixel 8a, but you're not dumb enough to fall for that because you know the Pixel 8 will be on sale again soon. So if you had to ask me, should you get the Pixel 8a or the Pixel 8? Don't waste your money on the 8a. And why? Well, because basically it's the same price as what they had the 8 on sale for, but it's significantly worse. Actually, it's not. So the screen basically the same. They bumped up to 2000 nits brightness. So it's got the really cool screen, better screen going for it. Basically the same as what we get with the Pixel 8 and the 8 Pro. 120 hertz. It's up from 90 hertz from the 7a last year. It's the same price as the 7a last year, but there's no good deals. Basically, the only deal you can get is whether you go through Google Store, Best Buy, or Amazon, you get a $100 gift card. And with Google, it's store credit. So, I mean, what are you going to get there, right? I guess maybe like a case. But yeah, there's not any good trade-in deals. The most trade-in you can get is $499, but you basically have to trade in an iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max to get that. So are you going to trade in a year-old iPhone Pro model for a Pixel 8a? Probably not. So you can't trade in a Pixel 8. You can't trade in a Pixel 8 Pro, which, I mean, that's dumb. Why would you go backwards? So that makes no sense. So let's look at last year. The Pixel 7 Pro. If you trade in a Pixel 7 Pro, like if you had a brain aneurysm, you've lost a lot of your cognitive capabilities, and you're just not thinking clearly, if you traded your Pixel 7 Pro for a Pixel 8a, you can get like $215, I think. Yeah, a Pixel 8 Pro, I think it was like 180. Sorry, Pixel 6 Pro was like 180. Pixel 7, I think they gave like $195. So the trade-in deals are atrocious. If you try to trade in like a Pixel 5a, I think they're giving you like $145. So they don't have the good trade-in specials. They're not giving you a free watch. They're not giving you free earbuds. They're just giving you $100 of credit you can spend somewhere else. So I don't know. If you need a gift card to give somebody for a graduation present, maybe that's a good deal. But realistically, if you look at the phone side by side, you have lesser cameras. So the Pixel camera in the 8a is exactly the same as it was in the 7a last year, which is a good camera. Nothing wrong with it, but it's not as good as the Pixel 8 camera. So if you're talking about basically like a $50 difference, because that's basically what the Pixel 8a is going to go back to sale. It's $699 right now. A couple of weeks, it's going to be $549 again. So if you think about this, in a very short-term period, it'll be back to $549. You're looking at $499 for the Pixel 8a. The differences are, so you look at the screen. Screen's basically the same, 0.1-inch size difference, same resolution, same refresh rate. That's kind of the same. Got the Tensor 3. They both have 8 gigs of RAM. You can get a 256 version of the Pixel 8a. It's going to cost you what? $549. So it's going to cost you the same price as what the Pixel 8 is going to go back on sale for, which it has been on sale for. But starts off at 128, same as the Pixel 8. So you have slower charging, you have a lower quality camera, you have Gorilla Glass 3 instead of Gorilla Glass Victus, you have, it's probably, it might be an aluminum frame, but it's probably plastic stuff too somewhere. But either way, I don't really care about that. The build quality is typically fine with the Pixels, but yeah, slower charging, lower Gorilla Glass, as an IP67 instead of an IP68 rating, and I don't know if it has macro. So the Pixel 8 does macro. I don't know if the 8A is. Nobody's talked about that. So this phone just came out of nowhere. Today I woke up and it's like, oh, by the way, there's a bunch of people that got it. Here's our pre-order. Here's our early access video. So they're not reviews yet. Like, there's no reviews on this phone yet. Only some people that got some hands-on time. Like, oh, look, some cool colors. There's a new aloe green color, which, I mean, I kind of like it. A little bit jealous there. But the Pixel 8a, the colors, I can't remember them. There's obsidian, bay blue, aloe green, and porcelain. And the porcelain actually is a really nice color. A lot of people, I hate this term, sleep on the aloe color, but not the aloe, but the porcelain. But when the Pixel Fold came out with the porcelain color, good gosh, it's beautiful. So I think the colors are fine. I think it has like a matte finish on it, a little bit more rounded appearance. And if you look at the Pixel 8 versus the 8a, it has smaller bezels around it. So overall, the 8 is a much better phone. And once it goes back on sale, it's going to be like an additional 50 bucks. So I don't really know what the market for this phone is. It's not really a good mid-tier phone at all, because they're charging you $500. You can get a lot of different phones for $500 or less that in many ways will be better than this phone. So why should you buy it? It's like, should you even consider going and getting one of these phones? Well, if you don't care about the extra 50 bucks, if the $100 gift card is lucrative to you, basically that's an effective price of $399, where this phone will be $399 in a few months. Like, I guarantee you. A couple of months from now, especially before the Pixel 9 series comes out, this phone will be $399. At $399 is probably a pretty good deal. Why? The Tensor 3 is a very capable chip. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not that great. Well, when you look at a Pixel 8 Pro and you pay $1,000 versus a prospectively $400 Pixel 8a with the same chip, well, I think a Pixel 8a with the Tensor 3 is a pretty good value, especially whenever you combine it with the 120 hertz screen, 2000 nits brightness. It's an OLED. It's going to look good and vibrant. The screens have gotten better, and the camera is going to be good. I mean, the plain and simple, if you want to look at a kind of closed-off sample of this, MKBHD, if you don't know who he is, he's like the biggest tech YouTuber, especially out there in the US. He does this kind of blind comparison camera thing every year. Pixel 7a, I think, won again this year. So, like, the A series phone is very capable. It's getting a lot of AI features, so you're going to get that as well. So you're going to get some AI features, circle to search, all that great stuff. I'm sure it'll have Magic Editor and all that crap. So you can do that. We're going to get 7 years of support. So a Tensor 3 with 7 years of support with one of the best point-and-shoot cameras that you can get, yeah, if you can get that for $399, that's a good deal. And it will be that price in a couple of months. Should you buy it today? I don't know. But if you want to, I've got an affiliate link in the description, and I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona you can also buy. But when it comes to this phone, yeah, the A series used to be a good value. When you look back at the 3A was an amazing phone. The 4A was an amazing phone, and it was only like 349 bucks. When you look at the 5A, I mean, it was still an okay deal, but it started to creep up there in the price. And then the 6A was, I think it was $399, maybe it was $449, but a couple of months later you could get that sucker for $349, $299. So that's usually the story. The beginning of the story with the A series was they were a great value, especially when there wasn't really a whole lot in the mid-tier department. There were most phones in the $300, $400 price range used to have crappy cameras, terrible performance, and no support. So the A series fixed that. They gave us great cameras, good support, and decent performance. And now that's crept up to, now it's got the same chip as the regular Pixel phones, and the price has crept up too. So when you take a look at the $500 price point, there are quite a few phones you can get around that price point that might be competitive in a lot of other ways. But what you can't get is, you're not going to get a camera that's good at 500 bucks. You're not going to get this level of support. A mid-tier series phone with 7 years of support. Now, it's Google, so who knows if they'll even support the Pixel phone 6 years from now. They could sell the division and change to something else. But if they are around in 7 years, then you'll get 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of security patches. That is a good proposition. So when you look at value for money, like, I can't do math. So I'm going to pull up my calculator right now. Calculator, whenever you divide this, so 499 divided by, let's say 7 years, what, 7 times 12? 7 times 12, 84. So 499 divided by 84, that comes out to a value proposition of $5.94 a month. That's really cheap. So when you look at it that way, it could potentially be a good deal for some people. And some people, they don't care about having the best and the brightest. You don't need $1,000 phone. And I don't think everybody needs $1,000 phone, but there are a lot more people who are value conscious who want a phone that'll last that long. And we haven't really had that before with Android. So just the prospect of a phone at $500 lasting for 7 years, having a really good point and shoot camera, having Google's AI stuff, that stuff sounds good abstractly. But when you put context on it and realize that the Pixel 8, which was better in very many ways, was only 50 bucks more like 2 days ago, then you're like, why does this exist? So I keep saying that the Pixel A series either needs to go away and replace the regular number. Like if we just had the 8A and no 8, that would make the 8A look like a lot better deal. And it would also make the Pro a wide gulf between it. So then people who want the Pro would very clearly go, okay, yeah, I need to get the Pro. Especially when we're talking about having 2 Pro models come out this fall. So if we're going to get a Pro XL, and then a Pixel 9 this fall, I think the 9 or the A needs to go, because they keep lowering the price, especially with these sales with the regular Pixel, and then they keep raising the price to where there's just no real price disparity with the A series. So I've said my piece. If you want to buy it, it probably is a decent value for you. If you are interested in this phone, you just want the 3 things I've talked about: support, camera, and performance. It's going to perform really well. It's going to have a nice screen. It's going to have a smaller form factor. A lot of people don't like these big, gigantic phones nowadays. And when you look on the opposite side of the coin in the Apple world, $499 basically gets you like a Pixel, not a Pixel, gets you like an iPhone SE, which they were still selling for like 449 bucks. So when you look at, okay, I can get a Pixel 8A, or I can get an iPhone SE for about $50 price difference, the Pixel 8A looks pretty good. So if you are looking to upgrade, here's my thought process on this. Get the 8. If you have a 7A, somebody left in the comments today like, oh, should I go from the 7A to the 8A? No, you should not. You should go from the 7A to the 8 or wait for the 9. If you've got a 6A, go to the 8A or go to the 8. I mean, if you can get some decent trade-in credit, if your carrier might, I don't even know where carriers are going to offer these. I don't know what carrier support's going to look like. We'll find more. The phone's coming out on the 14th. And I know I've talked I've talked about a lot here. The Pixel 8A release date is the 14th, which is the same day as Google I/O. So if you pre-order it now, you can get it then. If you want to hurry up and get it in your hands, I recommend buying it from Best Buy, because you can just walk straight to the store and get it that morning. You don't have to worry about UPS mailing it out. You don't have to worry about waiting by your door side. I always just buy them and pick them up from Best Buy. Now, also, if you want to return it, it's local, so that's nice too. But they do have a restocking fee. And I am getting one. Team Pixel, I believe, is sending me one. I was not going to say anything about this because I don't know if I can. I didn't sign an embargo agreement. But here's the moral of the story. They sent me an email like, hey, we want to send you our latest device. And I said, okay. And I fill out the paperwork. So I'm assuming it's the 8A will be here in a couple of days. But here's the thing. Like, when the phones come out, you're going to see the reviews drop on launch day from people that have access and have gotten them now. So there will be reviews likely on day one, unless there's some other fancy embargo. Team Pixel's kind of got around this because they used to get a lot of flack because they would send it out early and they're like, oh, you can share these pictures, but don't show the screen. Or, oh, you can show this, but don't share the camera samples, or all this stuff. And then they're like, oh, well, now you can talk about it. You can do an unboxing video the day it comes out, but you can't release a review then. So they got a lot of flack about that. I made a video about it because I thought it was BS before. So there's probably a reason I'm not invited to the Google event. Like, I'm not disillusioned. But I did email them twice. I emailed them and I said, hey, I'd love to attend the Google I/O. And they didn't reply to my email. So I won't be attending, but I will be here to offer my commentary on it. I will give you a synopsis of it. I will talk about it. I will tell you all the great things that you need to know about it, so you don't have to watch it because it's particularly boring. But yeah, it's going to be exciting from a hardware perspective because we're expecting a lot of stuff, a lot of changes, new features, Android 15, all that jazz. So basically a redux. The Pixel 8A is dumb, and they should not have made this phone for this price point, but it will be on sale soon. So if you want to wait till it's $399, that won't take long, and you can get it for a good deal then. A Pixel 8A at $399, fantastic deal. At $499, just wait 2 or 3 weeks until they drop the price back down on the regular 8. Because it'll be coming soon. The prices will come back down because that's what Google does. They always make you regret pre-ordering because they come out with the deal, and then as soon as the pre-order deals are over, they're like, oh, by the way, we slashed the price. So anyway, yeah, if you're looking to upgrade, look, I think it's going to be a fine phone. I think performance will be fine. I think the screen will be fine. I think the 7 years support will be good. I think the camera will be great. So those are good things, but I think we can all agree that it shouldn't be 500 bucks and it shouldn't be that close in price to the 8. The other thing is, I watched MKBHD's video and I had concerns about this because I'm like, well, are we going to get Gemini Nano for the A series? And he said Gemini Nano is coming to the A series, which is interesting because we already had the Google hardware engineer say that the Pixel 8 had hardware limitations and wouldn't support Nano. And then they kind of backtracked and Google said the 8 will support Gemini Nano AI, but you'll have to do it in developer settings. So it'll be interesting to see how Gemini Nano AI makes an appearance with the Pixel 8a and how that impacts things because it also has 8 gigabytes of RAM as the Pixel 8 does. So we'll see what happens. That's my whole take on this pre-order business. The phone is here. You'll be able to get it on May the 14th. And should you? That's a whole other question. But again, if you're interested, you want to waste your money, I've got links in the description. You can help put money in my account. I'm just joking. I don't care. I don't do this for affiliate sales. I just wanted to talk about it, and it's comical to me. So that's all I've got. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, gripes, complaints, you know where to go. Go down in the comment section and type away. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you guys next time.